Hi YouTube.
Hello.
So I just want to give an update. Last Friday I made a video, and then later that night I ended up getting my period. Boo. My period ended Wednesday, and oh yeah, was it Tuesday? Tuesday I went to my primary doctor to get my thyroid levels rechecked, and they came back normal, which is good. So still don't really know why this last IUI failed, but yeah. Tuesday we also went to the fertility clinic to speak with the doctor, and he said that our best bet would be to maybe try an IUI with more ejectables rather than just the HCG trigger shot. So we might do an IUI with I just drew a blank.
With the trigger, with more injections.
With injections, yeah, I'm tired.
And instead of doing IUI, maybe try IVF.
Mini.
If this time doesn't work.
Yeah, so if we do an IUI with injectables this time, which we're probably not going to be able to do it until the end of August or September, right?
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, he said to wait.
So yeah, he said to wait
because
he wants my thyroid to be leveled out for a while, and he was talking to us about how because I have Raynaud's and I have autoimmune and the hypothyroidism, that he is going to come up with a plan so when we do our next IUI, possibly with injectables, that he's going to really try and maintain, is that the right word?
Suppress.
You finish, I don't remember.
So what he said was that he was going to take a shotgun approach, but he said that sounded too harsh, so he called it the blanket approach.
Yeah.
Because it was kinder and softer. But anyway, that you would get tested from start to finish. That was the cat, by the way, not us.
I know, she's like
He would test you completely for all thyroid, any immunological problems.
And any cells that are attacking, he said something about cells that are attacking my abdomen or whatever because of the autoimmune and the Raynaud's. Yeah, my uterus. My uterus.
Someone worked today.
I am really tired. I had a long day at work.
Me too.
So what else to say?
How do you not know what to say?
So we obviously aren't doing any medication this cycle. He's going away for work this week coming up, so that would probably be around the time I'm ovulating anyways. Little jerk.
Sorry. And I can't do the whole freezing thing. It just seems...
And yeah, he doesn't want to freeze his sperm because he thinks it's not normal to freeze your sperm.
Well, it's not that it's not normal. I would just prefer my guys to not go into cryostasis.
It's not a big deal.
I don't know.
People do it all the time.
I know.
So...
Anyway. But we're going to take a road trip instead. We're going out to Colorado Springs for my sister's wedding.
At the end of July.
Yeah. And we're actually driving there. 26 hours.
Yay.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
So anyways, we just bought a GoPro and we're hoping to make really funny videos with it while we're on our trip because I tend to get crazy when I'm in the car for a long time and I tend to throw up. So hopefully that won't be on the GoPro. I can just see
That's
that
all
happen.
I could hear going through France.
Oh gosh.
You
So
gotta pull over.
stop. I can't help it. I get car sick after a while. So I don't know. I don't know when I will make another update because I don't know. I'm not gonna keep track of ovulation because it never seems to be right. Like even though before I would get a positive ovulation test, it would not really be positive because I can't make big follicles on my own. So I'll probably make an update before we
I don't know
start
about that.
again.
I don't know that you can't do it on your own because they've never really, except for here, have really looked at your follicles that I remember.
Well, the doctor said when we spoke to him on Tuesday that even though, because he asked me, well, do you get a period every month around the same time? And I said, yes. And he goes, okay. And I said, well, why isn't this happening? He says, usually by not getting pregnant means you're not ovulating on your own, or else you would be able to produce a baby. That's what he said.
Something like that.
So I'm obviously not ovulating on my own. And actually, our very first visit, that morning, I was taking OPKs for like a week, and then the day of my appointment, on our first appointment, it came back that it was positive. And then when we went in for our appointment, she goes, nope, because there were no eggs. There were no follicles, do you remember?
Yes. Now I remember.
And that's when they were like, well, maybe you're not. Like, maybe your hormones are saying you're ovulating, but I'm not on my own. Remember?
Yep.
So I told the doctor that even if we do an IUI with injectables or just another IUI with the Avadrel, that I will not do Clomid. I will do Femara because even though we had more follicles with the Clomid, the Femara, even though we only had 2, they were a lot bigger
Yeah.
than the Clomid. The Clomid, the first cycle, it was like one of them, we'll start out with like 4. And then the day before the IUI, one was like a 14, one was a 15.
You did real. I mean, it was a big difference.
And then the Femara, I had one that was a 20
It was a big
and
difference.
one that was like a 19. So I'd rather go with that chance rather than having a whole bunch of little ones. So I'm not sure if we end up doing the IUI with injectables next time. I'm not sure what injectables he would be putting me on. Because depending on my thyroid and L and everything else, I don't really know what medications
IVIG
he
and
would put me on.
a lot of immunosuppressors. is what he's
Yeah,
looking
he
at.
talked about putting me back on the steroid and stuff like that. And I'm still taking the aspirin, 81 milligrams. So, and then if that doesn't work, moving on to mini IVF, which would take us a while to save up and afford. But yeah.
Yeah, because our insurance doesn't cover it. The only thing it covers is that trigger
Well,
shot, which
it's
is so
really
weird.
weird because our insurance doesn't cover Clomid, but it covered most of the Femara, which is weird because it does the same thing.
And they covered all of the trigger shot. 100%.
It covered all of the trigger shot both times, and
Doesn't make
then
sense.
it doesn't cover the IUI. So I don't really know. So I don't know if it'll cover all the injections because depending on what kind of IUI you do, so I know that sometimes you do injections for 10 days or sometimes you do them for 5 days depending on which medication you put on. So I don't really know if our insurance, so my doctor said, call the month before you're gonna plan on doing a cycle, and he will call my prescriptions to the mail order
Yeah.
pharmacy. Sorry, I'm like really tired. And then we can figure out cost and stuff like that. And then he also wants to monitor me the month before so he can check my levels and stuff. with my thyroid and autoimmune stuff like that. So hopefully by him watching out for me more, maybe that'll help too, rather than just, okay, let's go for round 3 and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we got to talk with our doctor because I kind of felt like this 3rd time, the nurses and stuff were just like, all right, well, just call us when you're ready type thing. Like, I felt like they didn't really realize how much money and effort we were putting into it. And I don't know. So I'm kind of glad we talked to the doctor. So I feel like he's helping us more. Even though I know he probably doesn't remember me because he sees thousands of people a week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
He seemed really sincere, which was nice too.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
I don't know.
but kept saying,
Yeah, he asked us how long we're trying, and I said, well, it's been about 3 years. And then he's like, well, just remember patience. What did he say? Patience.
perseverance.
No, this other stuff.
Yeah, and then under
And
his
then
breath he kept going.
Yeah, he's like, don't give up.
We would say anything, and he'd be like,
And then he's like, oh, well, you know what patience is like because you've already been trying for 3 years.
yeah.
And then he's like, but don't worry. Well, he asked me too, do you have any kids already? And I said no. And he's like, no, yet. Or not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. I don't know.
It'll happen.
I don't know.
It'll happen.
I asked him the difference between taking just Clomid and Femara with the IUI compared to injectables with Femara with HCG trigger and IUI, which seems like a lot more. But he said the difference is you have a greater chance by producing more follicles, right?
More eggs.
Well, same thing, I guess. Yeah, you produce follicles. The eggs are in the follicle. Yes. So yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know this TTC stuff. So he is learning.
She doesn't even let me watch the videos.
He loves to watch them. Don't believe him. So I'm gonna get going now because I am actually really tired. I worked today and it was a really slow day, which made it drag on and on. And I had tons of people yell at me. And
I have to go drive an ambulance tomorrow early in the morning, so.
So anyways, we're gonna go because we have to figure out how to edit this video because we've never had a GoPro before. And we will update you guys later. Bye.